In 1958, U.S. bomber accidentally dropped the alive nuclear bomb over South Carolina. The military called it a training accident, but declassified files reveal something terrifying. America has lost 6 nuclear weapons, and to this day, nobody knows where they are. The date was February 5th, 1958. The height of the Cold War. A B-52 Stratofortress bomber, a key component of America's nuclear deterrent, was on a routine training mission. Unbeknownst to the crew, this flight would soon turn into a terrifying incident that would capture the world's attention. The mission involved simulating a nuclear strike, a grim exercise in a world teetering on the brink of potential global conflict. This B-52 bomber was carrying a 7,600-pound Mark 15 nuclear weapon, a hydrogen bomb with immense destructive power. Suddenly, disaster struck. The B-52 bomber collided mid-air with a fighter jet performing a routine maneuver nearby. The impact was catastrophic, sending both aircraft spiraling towards the Earth. In the chaos that followed the collision, the Mark 15 nuclear weapon detached from the damaged B-52. The massive bomb plunged from the sky, disappearing into the depths of the swamps near Florence, South Carolina. The area was a dense, watery wilderness, a labyrinth of trees, mud, and hidden dangers. The swamp's murky waters and thick vegetation made it an incredibly challenging environment to search for anything, let alone a missing nuclear bomb. The immediate concern was the potential for detonation, but even without a nuclear explosion, conventional explosives within the bomb posed a significant threat. In the immediate aftermath, government officials downplayed the severity of the situation. They claimed the bomb wasn't live, suggesting it lacked the necessary components for a nuclear explosion. The public was reassured that there was no risk of a nuclear detonation. However, classified documents that surfaced years later told a very different story. These documents revealed that the Mark 15 nuclear weapon did, in fact, have a plutonium core. This meant that while a full-scale nuclear explosion was unlikelier, the potential for a serious radiological incident was very real. The presence of plutonium, a highly toxic and radioactive material, posed a significant threat to the environment and the local population. And here's the craziest part of this already unbelievable story. The U.S. military launched an extensive search operation to recover the missing nuclear weapon. For 3 long months, teams of soldiers and experts scoured the swamps of South Carolina, battling the elements and the treacherous terrain. They used metal detectors, sonar equipment, and even divers to try and locate the lost bomb. But after all that effort, after all the resources expended, they came up empty-handed. The search was ultimately called off. The official explanation was that the swamp's conditions made it impossible to continue the search. But the truth is, the bomb is still there, lost somewhere beneath the murky waters and tangled vegetation. A nuclear weapon, lost and forgotten in the swamps of South Carolina. A chilling reminder of the Cold War and the potential dangers of nuclear technology. You're probably thinking, how does the world's strongest military lose a nuke? Turns out, between 1950 and 1980, there were at least 32 broken arrow incidents, nukes lost in crashes, fires, or simply falling off planes. This 1966 memo admits recovery of all components impossible in some cases. Asterisk, dramatic zoom asterisk, meaning they gave up. The Cold War was a tense period filled with near misses and potential catastrophes. One chilling example lies beneath the waves of the Mediterranean Sea. 1956. Mediterranean Sea. A B-47 Stratojet bomber, a key component of America's nuclear deterrent, vanished without a trace. The mission was routine, a training flight, but the stakes were incredibly high. What made this disappearance particularly alarming? The aircraft was carrying 2 nuclear bombs. Its last known location, according to radar and communication logs, was approximately 100 miles off the coast of Algeria. The plane, the crew, and the nukes simply disappeared, swallowed by the sea. The ocean holds many secrets, and some are more dangerous than others. Fast forward to 1965, this time in the Pacific. The location, off the coast of the Philippines. A U.S. Navy aircraft carrier was conducting operations when a devastating accident occurred. A plane, fully armed with a nuclear weapon, somehow rolled off the deck and plunged into the deep blue abyss. The weight of the aircraft combined with the force of gravity sent it spiraling down into the crushing depths. The estimated depth where it came to rest, 16,000 feet. Recovery efforts were considered, but the technical challenges and risks involved were deemed insurmountable. The icy grip of the Arctic holds its own dark secrets. 1968, Greenland. A B-52 bomber, part of the Strategic Air Command's airborne alert, crashed near Tuttle Air Base in Greenland. The impact was catastrophic. The B-52 was carrying 4 hydrogen bombs, while a massive recovery operation was launched in the immediate aftermath, and 3 of the weapons were successfully retrieved. 1 remained elusive. It's believed that the intense heat of the crash, combined with the unforgiving Arctic environment, caused the missing bomb to melt through the ice and disappear into the depths below. But perhaps the most terrifying incident of all occurred much closer to home. The year was 1961. The place: Goldsboro, North Carolina. A B-52 bomber experienced a mid-air breakup, sending 2 nuclear bombs plummeting towards the Earth. One of the bombs went through several arming stages during its descent. The scariest one? A single switch prevented detonation, potentially over New York City. These are just a few of the documented cases. The reality is likely far more complex and unsettling. The legacy of the Cold War continues to haunt us, lurking in the depths of the ocean and buried beneath the ice. Nuclear physicists, after years of studying these complex materials, offer a cautious assessment. They say, possibly. The plutonium cores, the heart of these weapons, remain intensely radioactive for an astonishing 24,000 years. That's longer than recorded human history. Think about the implications of that time frame. It presents a challenge unlike any other we've faced in terms of long-term storage and safety. The sheer longevity of the radioactivity demands respect and meticulous planning. But here's the nightmare scenario, the one that keeps experts awake at night. It's a confluence of factors, a perfect storm of decay and environmental conditions that could lead to unthinkable consequences. We're not talking about a simple malfunction. We're talking about a chain of events that spirals out of control. Imagine these bombs lying dormant on the ocean floor. Saltwater corrosion, a relentless enemy, slowly eats away at the metal casings. Simultaneously, the internal triggers, the delicate mechanisms that initiate the nuclear reaction, are decaying, becoming unstable. This combination of saltwater corrosion plus decaying triggers equals a very real risk of accidental criticality. It's a dangerous equation with potentially devastating results. Easter egg. 50% of viewers missed this. Are you still watching? We appreciate your dedication. This is where things get really interesting. Comment UK below for a surprise. We've hidden a little something extra for those who are paying close attention. It's our way of rewarding your curiosity. Translation. A decaying bomb silently rusting away near a major city poses a significant threat. The most immediate concern is that it could leak radiation, contaminating the surrounding environment and endangering public health. But the nightmare scenario goes beyond a simple leak. It could be far worse. The potential consequences are almost too terrible to contemplate. The legacy of the nuclear age is a heavy one. These weapons, symbols of immense power and potential destruction, continue to cast a long shadow. The challenge now is to ensure that they remain safely contained, preventing any possibility of a repeat of the horrors we've witnessed in the past. The stakes are simply too high to ignore. In 2008, the Pentagon admitted, costs outweigh benefits. Searching the Mediterranean, $500 million minimum. But insiders claim the real reason is embarrassment. Admitting we lost to WMDs undermines deterrence. In other words, looking weak is scarier than lost nukes. Theory #1. The Greenland nuke was stolen by the Soviets. Theory #2. Terrorists already found one. Most chilling. The 1980 Damascus, Arkansas incident where a repair team accidentally armed a nuke in its silo. So, should we be worried? Comment below. And if you think this is crazy, wait until you hear about the CIA's psychic spy program. Watch next. The CIA's Real X-Files is linked here. Smash that like button before the government classifies this video.